The Outsider by H.P. Lovecraft.
Unhappy is he to whom the memories of a childhood, bringing only fear and sadness, wretched is he who looks back upon long hours in vast dismal chambers, with burned hangings and maddening rows of antique books, or upon a wave watched in twilight robes and grotesque, gigantic, and being timbers trees, the silence, web twisting branches for a lot. Such a lot the goods gave to me, the dust, the disappointed, the barren, the broken, and I yet strangely and contained and sealing desperately to do serve memories when my mind momentarily threatens to retreat beyond to the other. I know no where I was born, save that castle was infinitely old and infinitely horrible, full of dark passage and having high ceilings where the eye could find only cobwebs and shadows, the stones in the crumbling corridors seeming always hugely jammed, and there was a cursed smell everywhere, as of the piled up corpses of their generations. It was never light, so that I used some things to light candles and gaze steadily at them for relief. Nor was there any sign of doors, since the terrible trees grew high above the topmost accessible tower. There was one black tower which reached above the trees into the unknown of the sky, but that was a poorly ruined and could not be seen save by a well-nigh impossible climb up the sheer well, stone by stone. I must have lived years in the palace, where I cannot measure the time begins must have cared for my needs, yet I cannot recall any person except myself, or anything alive but the noiseless rats and bats and spiders. I think that whoever nursed me must have been shockingly and aged since my first conception of a living person was that of somebody muckling like myself, yet storied, shriveled, and decaying like the castle. To me, there was nothing grotesque in these bones and skeletons that strewed some of the stone crypts, deep down among the foundations. I fantastically associated these things with everyday events, and I thought they're more natural than the color picture of living beings which I found in many of the moldy books. From such book I learned all that I know, no teacher or guide me, and I do not recall hearing any human voice in all those years, not even in my own, for although I had read of speech, I had never thought to try to speak aloud. My aspect was a matter, equality, and unthought of, for there were no mirrors in the castle, and I merely regarded myself by instinct as asking in the youthful figures I saw drawn and painting in the box. I felt conscious of youth because I remember so I tell it. outside across the prodding moat and under the dark mute trees, I would often lie and dream for hours about what I read in the books, and would longingly picture myself amidst the groves in the sunny world beyond the endless forest. Once I tried to escape from the forest, but as I went farther from the castle, the shade grew descend, and the air more filled with the browning fear. So that I ran frankly backless. I lost my way in the labyrinth of night and silence. So I trod endless toilets. I dreamed and waited, though I knew not what I waited for. Then, in the shadow solitude, my longing for light grew so frantic that I could rest no more, and I lifted entertaining hands to the single black reigning tower that reached above the forest into no other sky, and at last I resolved to scale that tower, although I might sign it were buried to these limbs, the sky and Paris that to live without ever beyond day. After an infinity of our awesome silence crawling up that concave and desperate precipice, I felt my head touch a solid thing, and I knew I must have it gained the road, or at least some kind of floor. In the darkness, I raised my free hand and tested the barrel, binding in the stone and immovable. There came a daily circuit of the tower, sealing the whatever holes this limb well could keep, till I finally my testing and I found the barrier. Fancy now that I had attained a very pinnacle of the castle, commenced to rush and up the few steps beyond the door, but the sudden beaming of the moon by a cold caused me to stumble, and I feel my way more slowly in the dark. It was still very dark when I reached the grounding, which I tried careful and found unlocked, but which I did not open for fear of falling from the amazing height to which I had climbed. Then the moon came out, most demonically of all shocks is that of the absolutely unexpected and grotesque, unbelievable. Nothing I had before undergone called comparing the terror with what I now saw, with the bizarre marvels that sick impelled. The sick itself was a simple prospect of the treetops, seen from a lofty eminence. There searched around on the level track, rating nothing less the solid ground, the kid on the perceived be marble slabs and columns, and overhead an innocent stone church with running spears, laymen sparkly on the moonlight.